Hey, namaskar everyone, this is Shourav and you are welcome back to a new video of Golang. So in this video we are gonna learn what are channels in Golang. If you want to make Golang your primary language, then I would highly suggest you to clear the concepts of channels. So without talking too much, let's get started. First of all, for the sake of simplicity and saving the time, I have already created the folder day 20 and let's initialize a complete new Golang project by executing the following code, which is go mod init and followed by this init. It's completely up to you what you wanna give it the name. In this case, I want to give my project name as chn, and right after executing that you will be able to see a go.mod file where you need to create another file called main.go. Right after creating that main.go, you need to declare two things, which is the package main and the main function at the same time. After that, let's declare a variable called a, and this a will be assigned into a channel. To do that, I can actually call a function called make, which is given and provided by Golang itself. It takes, if you hover over on it, it takes a type and the size of it. So first of all, let's give it a type, which is a chan. This chan is a keyword, reserved keyword, which is also given by the Golang itself. It actually declared for making its channel. Okay, so it's not channel, and followed by this we need to give it the data type, this string data type. Now it can be a bool too, whatever you want, but in this case I am doing it with a string. So it actually means this channel will be org with string data types only. Okay, so now if you want to set something in this channel, it is quite simple. Let's zoom a little bit. You need to declare the channel name itself, and then followed by the channel name you need to do this less than and a hyphen. Then you need to set the string value as well. You cannot actually give any other data types, as you have already mentioned that it should be a string data type. This channel can only work with the string data types. So let's give it a value, hello world. Okay, so that's it. Now let's print it out, fmt.println, and to print it we cannot directly print it out like this. We just need to do it like this. Okay, so in this case it's actually simple. The a is after declaring this same function. It means we are actually extracting something from this a. This means that, and in this case we are actually inserting inside a. That's the simple analogy you just need to remember every time while using and working with channels. So if you just run this, you are just going to fall into some errors. Let's have a look on it. Go run dot. So here you can see that it's a deadlock error because we are actually setting some value inside it, but we didn't give it a buffered value. So it will take something unbuffered value. So now it's going to give us the hello world. That's quite interesting. But if you just enter another thing, let's give it a value hello world 2. So it's going to give us another error here, the same error. To actually fix this, we just need to increase it to 2. So that's how it can take 2 values. Okay, so I hope you understand the position, the arc of the second position, which is integer, the size of that channel. Okay, so in this case you are just seeing the value on, so grab the second value too. You just need to redeclare the function to print it out second time, so that the first of all it will print out the first value, then second time it will print out the second value. That is the simple case here. That is the simple case here in the channels. So you can also do it, simplify it using this using the for loop. For I, declare it with, initialize with a default value which is 0, and then followed by this expression which is 2, or on 0 1 with this actually ultimately sums to 0 and 1, and then I plus plus. So in this case, let's use select here, select, which is another thing similar to switch and case. So here in case, let's call it a value 1, and it's a variable, and it will take the a channel value from a channel, and it will print out that. How? Let's move there. Let's come here, print fmt dot print ln and the value 1, and the same thing can be done here, and let's do some indentation here so that we can get a clear view of it. Now let's zoom out a little bit and remove the sidebar. Now you can see it's going to print out that 2 values, but let's go and add more here. Let's add 3 and print out it here again. Actually, let's initialize another value here. Now if you go here, it's going to do that, but let's remove it. We don't need it. Let's keep it 2 and increase it with equal to 2. It means 0 1 2, which means it's counting from 0 to 2, means 3. So well, we have only 2 values. It can actually have 2 values, so it's going to, but it will actually loop for 3 times, and will also try to extract the values from here. So it's ultimately going to give us error. Here you can see. To handle this in select, we can also have another thing called default, where we can specify that no more values inside channel. Now it can be handled by this default execution thing. Okay, so that's how we can use channel in Golang. You can declare and set the values in a channel and extract the values from the channel here. So this is not the only thing, the only use cases. The main use cases of channels are in with goroutines. So let's have a look here. Let's create another function called let's come here, let's create another function called f1, and here let's take a value, not a value. Let's, if you don't know what are parameters and ins and outs of functions, then I have also created a dedicated video on that. You can head over to that video anytime for better understanding. Let's return a string from here, string. So return hello from function 1, and let's create another function called function 2, f2 hello from function 2, fmt dot is printf. Okay, and followed by this, we're going to print out the function, actually value that is going to come from function 1. So let's give it a parameter value and val here. That's great. Now let's so here you can see that this function 2 is dependent on function 1, because we want something like val, which will be given from this function 1. Let's see, f1 val, it means function on value, return value. So f1, great, f2 value, f2, and it will accept the return value from f1, and then finally it will print it out here. f2 value. Now you can see that it's quite easy. Hello from function 2, hello from function 1. They're actually printed from here. Okay. Now let's give it something really crazy. Let's sleep it for some time. Sleep for time dot second. It's going to be 3. And for this, it should be sleep for 2 seconds. And now let's see. It will actually wait for 5 seconds to execute these 2 functions. The first function will take 3 seconds, and the second function will take 2 seconds. Okay. To measure it, let's do something here. Start time. Time dot now. End time. Sorry, my bad. End time and duration. End time subtracted by start time. FMT. Let's reuse the code. FMT. Let's see. Yeah. FMT print ln. FMT dot print smabad. Print ln. Duration is going to be duration dot seconds. So if you run it now, you'll be able to see the execution time it takes. So here you can see it took more than 5 seconds. Okay. Yeah. So now to anticipate it, we can use concurrent concurrently run these 2 functions to execute them, but there are some problems. Let's remove it and implement this with Go. So if you don't know how to use goroutines in Golang, then I have also made a dedicated video on it. Sorry for my background noises. And yeah, so it has some problem that it cannot return anything if you are using goroutines. So we can, as we know that this function 2 is dependent on function 1, but while using goroutines we cannot depend like this, because we cannot get the return types. So in this case, in this place, channels kick in. Let's remove it. Let's remove the entire thing. Okay, let's come here and do something really nice. Here, let's create chan1. Okay, chan1, ch1. Let's call it ch1 or chan1, and make it a chan type of string, and it will buffer for 1, and secondly it will be channel 2, and the same thing. Let's come here. It will take ch1 channel 1. It will be type of channel, and it will work with data type string. Let's give it that. Channel 1, that's good. And let's not use this. ch1, let's set it here. And we don't need to return anything in this case, as we're using channels. So here we are actually setting this string value inside this channel of 1, which is actually channel 1, this thing. Okay, actually this channel 1 is actually passed through the parameters and the arguments of inside this function 1. That is how we are actually able to set the value inside that channel. Okay, now let's go here and do this thing. Okay, it will have a ch2 channel 2. It's going to be a channel type and will work. This channel will also work with a string type only. And this dependent one, let's go for the masses from function 1 variable, and well, let's come here and declare here ch1 channel. It will be also handle and work with string data types. Now let's pass it here, chan2 and chan1. Okay, so the chan2 okay, so val, let's create another variable where it will take the value from channel 1, which is actually set it from here, function 1, and remember that this value is being used to extract the value from the channel and setting it, actually holding it inside this variable. Now we can use that variable here too. So we are doing that, and now this thing can be also set inside ch2 like this. Now this is the channel 2 where we are setting this value inside channel 2 using this same thing. Okay, let's do it here. So now this function will be once this channel will be actually populated, then there is no meaning of doing this. So let's see, it's 5. Now let's have a look here. We'll print out fmt dot println chan2. We are extracting that value from chan2. Now you can see that it was previously 5 seconds and the message was this. Now let's run it again. You'll see a dramatic change here. See, it's the same message now with duration of 0 point something milliseconds. So it's quite interesting. So that is the channel here, but you can also declare it and do it, or actually push it to one step further by doing this. Here this channel's org is to only setting some value, okay, inside it. So we can actually declare this channel, this is the channel name, and this is the channel, actually channel type, and the working data type is this. So this channel will take the string data type into it. Okay, it cannot be extract from here. See, it cannot be extract from here. Well, ch1, it cannot be extract from here. See, it's send only. So it's good because there is no possibility of changing it inside this function further, okay, or extracting it further. So it's the work of this channel is to send something, so we are actually limiting it with send only permission. So here where this cas on is actually extracting something, not sending it. The responsibility of channel on is here just to extract the value, not sending something. So in this case we can do this here. This channel is responsible to extract the string data from here, and this channel is for setting the value, right, sending the value. So here we can also do this. So now you can see the same thing with better security. So here you can see that the sleep is not affected here, but something like that, some garbage kind of thing is here, that print, we need a message inside this function. We don't need it to be print outside, but we need it here, println that function do finished, okay. And same for this function one finished. So this will be printed after the sleep of it, which we are actually mimicking here. Now if you run it, you won't be able to see that thing. You will be able to see the only result which are coming from the channels, because it's actually sleeping here for 2 seconds and sleeping here for 3 seconds. So right after that, we are not waiting for it. We are actually dependent on the channels. That's why it's not printing them. But there might be some cases that the finished thing can be actually important for us, that this function is actually finished. To do that, we can also use waitgroups. If you don't know what are waitgroups, I have a completely dedicated video on waitgroups, which can be eye-opening to you. So I'm not going to give you a complete overview of it, but I can show you some brief things here. Let's create a declare variable called wg, which is a syntactic sugar for waitgroups. Let's import a package called sync, which is which come out of the box with not out of the box. It's actually comes with the standard library of Golang. And now let's get the wait group and defer that. So defer actually means it will run end of the function, end of its particular function. In this case, this defer is actually inside this main function, so this function will be, this defer function will be run end of this function here. Okay, so wherever you want to mention it, it will run at the end of this function. So wait group wg dot wait, so it will wait for it. And this function one, let's go here, it will take another thing called f function function one wg. This is the parameter name, and then we want as pointer type sync.waitGroup. If you don't know what are pointers and references, I would highly suggest you to head over to my video dedicated on references and pointers. The same thing, same thing need to be also mentioned here with a different function name too, not function name, parameter name. Now let's pass that wg here, reference of wg, my bad. So this is actually the second attempt to record this video. First time I have recorded the entire video, but I forgot to switch on my mic. So yeah, okay. Now we just need to defer the same thing here. This defer is going to be associated with this function one. It will run at the end of this associated function. So here f1 dot done, f1 wait group dot done. Okay, yeah, it will be called here, end of the function. Same for this, but here we need to change the argument type. Okay, now you'll be able to see all of the codes without affecting the time. Oh, yeah. So wait group, wait, differ. So what is the problem here? It's done. Yeah, that's the thing is that we need to add these goroutines in the wait group 1 and here 1. Okay, so if you have another goroutine, you also need to assign this wait group onto that too. Now if you run it, you'll be able to see that thing here and without affecting the time, and then right after that it's going to print us that the function 1 and function 2 is finished here. So yeah, that is it for today. This is the channel completely in on-shot video. If you like this video, do hit the like button and make sure to subscribe this channel, and do not forget to share this video with your friends. If you have any doubts, feel free to comment down in this video. I would like to help you out there. So thank you, namaskar, good night.